Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The Diagnostic Trouble Code, DTC P1684, refers to a problem with the throttle valve return spring performance in the 2008 to 2012 Honda Accord. This specific issue implies that the throttle valve may not fully return to its closed position when released, which is critical for proper engine function and fuel efficiency. The throttle body, which houses the throttle valve, is located between the air intake and the engine intake manifold. It is responsible for regulating the airflow into the engine based on driver input and engine parameters. A malfunction here can lead to poor engine performance, potential stalling, and increased emissions. Understanding this code and its implications is vital to ensuring the vehicle operates efficiently and safely. In the Honda Accord, the throttle valve is a vital component that regulates the amount of air entering the engine. It is located within the throttle body, situated between the air cleaner and the intake manifold. When the driver presses the accelerator pedal, the throttle valve opens to allow more air into the engine, which is combined with fuel for combustion. If the throttle valve does not return to the closed position properly, it can indicate an issue with the throttle return spring, which is meant to bring the throttle back after it opens. Therefore, a malfunctioning spring not only complicates engine performance, but also can lead to safety risks due to uncontrolled acceleration. Locating the throttle body properly ensures that technicians can effectively assess and address the issue at hand. Several potential causes can lead to DTC P1684 being triggered in the Honda Accord. One of the most common issues is a weak throttle return spring, which may not generate sufficient force to return the throttle valve to its closed position after acceleration. Another possibility is that the throttle valve itself may be binding due to dirt or debris, preventing it from moving freely. Additionally, the Engine Control Module, ECM, or Powertrain Control Module, PCM, can malfunction, leading to erroneous readings or miscommunication with the throttle body. Identifying these causes is essential, as each influences the vehicle's overall performance and can lead to different repair strategies. Checking each component carefully helps pinpoint the root of the issue for accurate resolution. When DTC P1684 is present, drivers may experience various symptoms that signify a problem with the throttle valve's return mechanism. One noticeable symptom is an unresponsive throttle, where the vehicle does not respond as expected when the accelerator pedal is pressed. Additionally, the engine may exhibit erratic idling. This occurs when the throttle valve is stuck open, resulting in an inconsistent idle speed and causing vibrations. Poor acceleration can also be prominent, as the throttle may not open or close as intended, leading to insufficient power delivery. These symptoms can not only hinder driving comfort, but also raise safety concerns. It's crucial to recognize these symptoms early to prevent further damage to the engine and to ensure safe vehicle operation. The first step in troubleshooting DTC P1684 is to turn the ignition switch to the on-to position. This activates the vehicle's electrical systems without starting the engine. At this stage, it's essential to avoid inserting any fingers into the throttle body to prevent injury, especially since the throttle valve may activate during this process. Proper procedure dictates that technicians should record any freeze data and onboard snapshots at this point, as these pieces of information can provide critical insights into the vehicle's performance at the time the code triggered. This initial step sets the groundwork for the troubleshooting process, ensuring that the subsequent steps can be performed safely and effectively. After activating the ignition switch to the on final position, the next crucial step is to clear the Diagnostic Trouble Code (DTC) using the Honda Diagnostic System (HDS) tool. HDS is an advanced diagnostic tool specifically designed for Honda vehicles, allowing technicians to diagnose and resolve issues accurately. Clearing the DTC removes it from the trouble code memory, enabling the system to refresh and reevaluate any current conditions. This step is essential as it ensures that technicians are working with updated data, which is necessary for observing if the problem reoccurs. By resetting the system, any old issues are eliminated, allowing for a more accurate assessment of the vehicle's current state. Following the clearing of the DTC, the next troubleshooting action is to start the engine and hold the engine speed at 3,000 RPM without any load, meaning that the automatic transmission should be in park, P, or neutral, N. And for manual transmission, it should be in neutral. This high RPM test allows for thorough checks of how the throttle valve and associated components are functioning under load conditions. It's crucial to maintain this RPM until the radiator fan activates. This activation indicates that the engine has reached its operating temperature, providing a clear environment to observe whether the throttle is behaving correctly. After the fan comes on, letting the engine idle helps highlight any inconsistencies in throttle response or engine performance that may be linked to P1684. Once the engine has idled appropriately after conducting the RPM test, the next step is to turn the ignition switch to the lock 0 position. This action will completely shut down the vehicle's electrical systems, ensuring no interference during the next steps of testing. Waiting for about 10 seconds is crucial here, as it allows any residual systems to reset. This brief pause also aids in ensuring that any previously engaged components that might affect the diagnostic procedure have a chance to disengage. Following this step prepares the vehicle for further diagnostics, ensuring that each system is reset and ready for examination, especially after previously utilizing the throttle and engine systems. After performing the necessary actions of shutting down the vehicle, the next step is to turn the ignition switch back to the on position. This reactivates the vehicle's electrical systems for another round of diagnostics. At this point, technicians will closely check for the presence of pending or confirmed DTCs using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. This step is essential because it verifies if P1684 is still present in the system after the previous reset actions. If it is indicated, that leads the technician towards further investigation to identify the specific underlying cause. Conversely, if the DTC is not present, it might denote an intermittent failure, suggesting that the system is functioning correctly at that moment, leading the technician to check for potential loose connections or poor terminals that could have caused a temporary fault. Checking for available pending or confirmed DTCs is a crucial diagnostic step. If the DTC P1684 appears again at this stage, it's essential to follow through to the next troubleshooting step. On the other hand, if this code is absent, it suggests that the previous issue may have been an intermittent occurrence. In such cases, a thorough inspection for poor connections or loose terminals at both the throttle body and the engine control module, ECM, or powertrain control module, PCM, is warranted. Good connections are critical, as poor connectivity can often lead to erroneous signals or malfunctioning components. Verifying these connections helps ensure that all electrical paths are functioning as intended, creating a stable operating environment to avoid future occurrences of DTC P1684. If DTC P1684 is still present at this point, the technician should turn the ignition switch to the lock 0 position to prepare for further inspection. This step is vital as it allows for a complete shutdown of the electrical systems within the vehicle, ensuring that no unexpected signals or activations occur during the next steps in the diagnostic process. Every time the ignition is cycled, it allows the system to reset and helps eliminate any transient faults that may have initially triggered the DTC. Careful adherence to this procedure facilitates a structured approach to identifying issues with the throttle valve or associated hardware, ensuring safety and accuracy as further investigation unfolds. After turning the ignition to lock 0, the next step involves disconnecting the intake air duct from the throttle body. This action is necessary to gain clear access to the throttle valve for manual testing. The intake air duct channels air from the air filter to the throttle body, so removing it allows for unobstructed access to the throttle's operation. Care must be taken during this step to avoid damaging any clips or connectors associated with the duct. By ensuring that each connection is handled delicately, technicians can avoid additional issues that might arise from improper handling. Once the duct is removed, comprehensive physical testing can be conducted on the throttle valve to further analyze its operational integrity. Once the intake air duct has been successfully removed, the technician should now push the throttle valve open. This action allows for a hands-on assessment of how the throttle valve operates mechanically. Observing how the throttle opens manually can reveal whether there are any physical obstructions or binding issues occurring within the throttle body. A smooth motion is essential for proper functioning. Any resistance may indicate that the throttle return spring could either be too weak or that there may be debris causing binding. This direct approach helps technicians gather immediate visual and tactile feedback to evaluate the throttle's operation, guiding them in the next steps towards resolving DTC P1684 effectively. After manually opening the throttle valve, the next step is to release it and observe its return behavior. This is a critical juncture in the troubleshooting process for DTC P1684 because the throttle should return to its closed position effortlessly. If the throttle valve returns fully, it indicates that the throttle body may simply need cleaning due to accumulated dirt or debris, which can hinder performance. However, if the valve doesn't return appropriately, the underlying issue likely lies deeper, potentially indicating a malfunctioning throttle body that requires replacement. This observational step is essential as it provides real-time feedback on the condition of the throttle system, directing the technician on how to proceed with repairs. If the throttle valve does not return after being released, the next step involves replacing the throttle body. This component is integral for regulating the air intake and requires proper functionality for the engine to perform optimally. A new throttle body will ensure that the valve operates without restriction and will restore the vehicle's performance to expected standards. It's crucial to follow manufacturer guidelines during installation, ensuring that all electrical connections and components are secured appropriately. Properly replacing the throttle body can significantly improve engine responsiveness and efficiency. Following this step, be sure to conduct further checks to validate that DTC P1684 has been resolved before returning the vehicle to the owner. After replacing the throttle body, it is necessary to turn the ignition switch to the on-to position once more. This action reactivates the vehicle's systems and allows the technician to begin checking vital engine and throttle system parameters. At this stage, the reinstallation of a new throttle body necessitates thorough validation of operations, ensuring that all connections were done correctly and that the component is functioning as intended. This is crucial, as the successful return of the throttle will indicate that the replacement has been effective. Observing any irregularities at this stage helps avoid any unanticipated failures After the final steps in the reset procedure. The final step in troubleshooting DTC P1684 after installing a new throttle body is to reset the engine control module, ECM, or powertrain control module, PCM, using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. This reset clears any stored DTCs and allows the system to recalibrate and adapt to the new component. The ECM PCM is crucial as it controls various aspects of engine performance. And resetting it ensures that the new throttle body operates within the updated parameters. This process is essential to confirm that the replaced component is now functioning correctly. Once completed, the technician should monitor the vehicle for any reoccurring codes or issues, which will help gauge the success of the repair. Follow-through is important to help ensure that all aspects of the vehicle's performance are optimized following the diagnosis. After completing all troubleshooting steps and repairing DTC P1684, it is vitally important to conduct final verification to ensure that the repairs were successful. This involves monitoring the vehicle for any reoccurrence of the DTC, as any return of the code could indicate persistent underlying issues that might have been overlooked. Observing the vehicle's performance improvements is equally essential, as it will provide not only information on the throttle valve's behavior, but also on overall engine operation. Technicians should take note of any unique characteristics in throttle response during road tests or idling periods. This final verification step acts as a confirmation that the vehicle is functioning efficiently post-repair, thus ensuring the safety and satisfaction of the driver. To avoid facing DTC P1684 and related throttle issues in the future, preventive maintenance is a key strategy. Regular cleaning of the throttle body can prevent the buildup of dirt and grime that might impede the throttle valve's movement. This proactive measure ensures that the throttle assembly remains free from obstruction, thus maintaining engine performance. Additionally, periodic checks on all electrical connections associated with the throttle body and related sensors will help identify any potential problems before they escalate into major issues. Routine maintenance schedules that incorporate inspecting these components are crucial for keeping the vehicle running smoothly. Educating vehicle owners about the importance of cleanliness and checks can significantly reduce the risks of similar DTC codes from arising. In conclusion, understanding the implications of DTC P1684 and its relationship to the throttle valve return spring performance problem is essential for Honda Accord owners. This code signifies potential malfunction in a critical engine component that can affect overall vehicle operation and safety. Regular maintenance practices, including cleaning the throttle body and periodic checks of associated systems, play a pivotal role in preventing issues from arising. Through careful adherence to troubleshooting steps and thorough inspections, technicians can effectively resolve the problems indicated by a DTC. Emphasizing the importance of preventive care helps ensure that Honda Accords continue to perform at their best, avoiding future complications and maintaining engine efficiency. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.